Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of the SAR Assemblage Advent Calendar. Today is day 18, and I'm going to go ahead and open that up and see what we've got. Once I open it up, I'm going to pull some pictures and create with it. And in case you've missed this, by day 18, the Advent Calendar was available at the beginning of November, and we're shipped out in time for us to open things for December. So these are from MK over at Some Assemblage Required, and she designed all of these. So super cool. Ready? Here we go. Ooh, that's really pretty. All right. One thing I do love about the Advent Calendar is that the things in it are not necessarily Christmas related. They could be anything. But, you know, it's always fun to open something up each day leading into Christmas. So I love that there's non-Christmas stuff in here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the masking off of this because that's going to give me, like, you know, extra time to think about what I want to document. I do know that it is also Paw Hop Day, which means I should be doing something with pet related. I am not sure what I am going to do with this that is pet related. Maybe I'll document one of our walks and all of the things that my dog likes to stop and smell and look at. You know, I'm sure she's smelling things that I don't want to smell, but sometimes she stops near pretty flowers. You can see how easy it is to remove the masking when you have a good tape. And so that's what it looks like with the masking removed. Really pretty. You can see the wood grain. And sometimes I feel like it's important to do this before you start creating, because sometimes the wood is not the same color as the masking. So this one didn't come off so great, and I think it's because I have some lotion on my hands, and I think I touched the front of it, and maybe that is hindering it, but because now you can see all of these ones are coming off great. Oh, I say that and then it doesn't. Shame on me. Oh, that's because I picked up the one that already has the masking off of it. Oops. That would explain things. There we go. This one's got that. It's really not a very difficult job, especially if you've got some really good tape. I recommend the Gorilla tape. This one is the heavy duty Gorilla, and it's like 3 inches wide, so it's probably gonna last me ages. Okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video and go find some photos, and I'll be back. Okay, so today is Woodgrain and Winter, and it is also the Paw Your Way Into Our Hearts Hop, which means we are doing pet related or animal related layouts. I am going to be documenting my dog and my son's dog and taking them on a walk together. This doesn't happen super often because they really just try to outpace each other, and so it becomes really a struggle for me. But I'm trying out this it's not a harness, it's a split leash. Basically it's a, I don't know, it splits the two of them up, and then I don't know what it's called, and then it attaches to your leash, and they can go back and forth between each other and around each other, and it never seems to tangle, and it works great. At least it's worked great the first couple of times, although I will say that Coda has also now figured out that she can basically pull Momo wherever, well, I can't say she pulls her, she does pull her periodically, but yeah, they've gotten a little bit too used to it, and now they're starting to pull me again. But anyway, it does work better because now they're not tripping me with multiple leashes, but we're working on it. So I am coloring my wood veneer. I'm using some Thule art pens, and you can see here this green one was not primed at all. It's never been used. So I was waiting for it to or maybe that was not the one that had never been used. Maybe that was the one that was used. Anyway, I kind of primed it a little too much and a lot of green came out onto my paper there. So I'm just picking up the green that came out onto the paper rather than depressing the tip again and having more ink come out of it. So I went ahead and colored the hydrangea and the leaves using those Tule Art pens. They come in multi-packs of different colors. You can get like a set that just has like a whole bunch of different colors in it, or you can get it by color family, which is what I have. I will link those down below. They are off of Amazon and they work really well. I did figure out that you have to kind of at the end of your coloring session, you dip them in a little bit of water to clean the tip so that the acrylic paint doesn't dry in the tip, and make it so that they don't flow very easily the next time you go to use them. The papers that I am using here are all out of my scrap bin. I was looking for something that was in the hydrangea color family. I don't know that hydrangea is considered a color, but kind of the periwinkle. I do think they come in multiple colors, but I went with a periwinkle kind of a color. Originally, I started out with 2 solid pieces at the bottom of the pile there that were 12 by 12, but I don't end up using those because I found one of those heart papers in the periwinkle in my scrap bin, and so I just started pulling from the scrap bin, pulling in greens and periwinkles. I think the 2 colors work really well together. I do think they work well with these photos also, especially the periwinkle with the photo with the pavement. That pavement kind of gives off some periwinkle vibes, and then of course the green in the green grass. And so I am just layering these up based on how they were in my scrap bin, cutting off any of the weird angles. As you can see off to the left hand side, I've cut off some of the pieces, but some of the pieces I didn't even have to cut off. So a lot of times when I put paper away, if there are weird angles, I will automatically cut it off. It also keeps it from getting all tangled up in the scrap bin, especially if it's something that I've cut words out of on my silhouette or something like that. I just trim all of that off, and then I've got nice straight edges to work with. And so for the most part, that works out. I did split this one piece so that it can kind of bridge the gap because I wanted that darker color in there to give a little bit of depth of color basically. And then I am just using some Black Soot Distress ink to ink up the edges that are visible. I did not bother with inking any of the edges that are going to be covered up. And I'm kind of working my way from the top down on this layout, which is not always how I work, but it works great for this particular style of layout because I've already got the papers in place. So I just kind of started gluing them down on from the top, working my way to the bottom. And as you can see here, I'm going back and reinforcing where some of them were not held down really great. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue the entire thing stacked down onto my layout. It made it come together very quickly by doing this. It also lightened my load of what was in my scrap bin. I mean, I still have a ton in there, but I do love doing this. It's a great way to use up a lot of scraps, and I like it because it gives you a lot of paper layers. And if you know me, you know I do love some paper layers, and that makes me really happy. So aside from mixed media, paper layering is one of my favorite things, and not always in this style of paper layering. Sometimes I go with really tight layers and lots of layers under my photos, but this one was a fun one. I'm not adding a ton of embellishments. Basically, my only embellishment is going to be the wood veneer from today's Some Assemblage Required Advent Calendar. And you know what? This is supposed to be Woodgrain and Winter, and I just realized that the only wood grain on here is the wood grain that I painted. So I think I'm going to owe you another Woodgrain and Winter using actual wood grain paper. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, you know what? It's not Woodgrain and Winter, it's Thursday. Woodgrain and Winter's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I could edit all this out, but I'm really just going to be too lazy and leave this in here. So tomorrow is Woodgrain and Winter, not today. Oh my goodness. I'm really tired. It's been a long December already. Okay. So, yeah, that was fun. I went into my silhouette and I decided to do my title on my silhouette today. I've been using my dies quite a bit lately, but today I decided to just go ahead and use the silhouette machine. And so my title is going to be Stop and Smell the Flowers. Now I did cut the word stop out because I wasn't sure if I was going to put stop at the top and smell the flowers at the bottom. But I decided not to use that word stop. I decided to pull in these little tiny tile letters, which are super old. They're basic gray tile letters. And somehow I have 3 sheets of these. They were 12 by 12 sticker sheets, but I always cut the letters off and stick them in with my alphas. And so, which I haven't used in a long time. So I'm glad to be using these. So stop and will be out of the green little tiles, and the word the is also out of those tiny tiles, because smell flowers are the 2 more important words in my opinion of the title. I did use this more lavender color paper, which I don't even know where it came from. It is cardstock-ish. It kind of has a weird texture to it, but it is in the cardstock realm. It definitely does not have a pattern, and I'm not, like I said, I don't know where it came from. So I am using that, and I feel like it is close enough to the periwinkle, especially when I add a little black soot distress over the top of it. It kind of grunges it up just a tiny bit, even though everything else is not super grungy, but it kind of mellows out the purpley of the cardstock and makes it a little more periwinkle-ish, I guess. I don't know. I could just be making that up. But I like the way that it looks better with the black soot over the top. And that's going to be my title. So I am going to add some journaling using that paper that's off to the left-hand side. And then my journaling is just about how I'm trying out this new way of walking the girls, because the Momo is actually my son's dog, but the 2 dogs are together during the day, and I tend to be the first one home. And so in the winter, I've been trying to walk them earlier, or when I get home, because it's light outside. By the time everybody else gets home and all of that good stuff, it's dark and it's been really cold. So I was like, I gotta find a way to do this earlier where it's not quite so cold. And so this was my solution. I don't know how well it's going to work and if it's going to last as they figure things out, because I will tell you, Coda pulled so hard yesterday and Momo was being a good girl and staying next to me, and Momo was like, her harness was by her ears, and so I had to like get on Coda about pulling, and yeah, she's kind of figured it out. But, you know, it's not something I do every single day. Like today, it's actually warmer out, and so maybe I'll wait till later and just take Coda by herself after Momo gets picked up. But we'll see. But it's always nice to be able to exercise both of them together, right? Okay, so to finish everything off, I just went around all of my layers that are showing with a double sketchy black line with my Muji pen. That's going to finish off the entire layout, you guys. I want to remind you to go check out everyone else playing along with Paw Your Way Into Our Hearts. The link is down below. I'm going to include the link for Woodgrain and Winter, even though it's not technically Woodgrain and Winter today. And then go and check out what MK has going on her channel as well, because I believe she is doing Paw Hop today as well. And I don't know if she's going to be using the hydrangea or not, because it's technically my day to do the advent calendar, but there's a good chance that she'll be pulling it out and using it on her layout also. So go and check that out. I'm curious to see what she does with it. I really think it's really pretty, and I love it with the paint on it, which I haven't done a lot. I haven't done it all this month, so it was fun to kind of pull out my paint pens and paint it up and make it a little bit different for you guys, or for my layout basically. Than having it just the raw wood. Not that I don't love that, because as you've seen throughout the rest of the month, I do love the raw wood also. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have questions or comments, leave them down below. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I do appreciate you guys spending time with me today, and I will be back tomorrow with another one, so come back and check that out. See you then. Bye-bye.